All right. Let me get a couple things in position. People, shout out to all of you who follow me, who support me, and just really understand the reality of generational wealth, man. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting the movement. It's your boy Bobby from Mentourme.com. Tonight, I really want to take time and have a great discussion. Shout out to all of you that's on IG, Facebook, YouTube. I got all three platforms lined up right now. We're going to have a great discussion tonight about government programs. For some of you, government programs have been a part of your life. For some of you, government programs is a part of your life. And while I enjoy this drink, while I enjoy this beautiful night and really educate you guys tonight, I want you guys to know all this is just financial education. My goal is to empower your mind. My goal is to teach you how to financially win. And financially win is not always about just money. It's also the mental. And my biggest thing is always teaching you guys the mental aspect of winning. First and foremost, make sure you guys feel comfortable tonight to leave your comments below. I'll try my best to answer questions and go from there. I'm all live on Facebook, IG, YouTube right now. Shout out to all my supporters. For a lot of you that may not know me, I'm not sure what's going on with my connection on, for some reason, on IG. Martha, what's popping? For some of you that may not know me, I'm a life coach, investor. I'm a mentor. I'm an individual teaching you how to create financial wealth. And we're going to have a great topic of discussion. This is Will Buy from Mentourme.com. Appreciate all of y'all tuning in tonight. And we're going to talk about the reasons why government assistance is keeping us single and financially broke. This is a real problem, and I get it. I grew up off government programs. When I was younger, I used to live in the urban areas. I was on that world of Section 8 food stamps and all that good stuff. But I had to eventually understand I got to elevate and get out of that. Because here's the problem. A lot of you may not know that government programs is a multi-trillion-dollar industry, okay? And these companies, the government wants to keep you guys behind. For some of you, that's on government programs. And some of you don't realize how lucrative it is for the government to keep you broke. And tonight we're going to talk about the reasons why government programs is keeping people single, the reasons why government programs is having people in positions where they don't have any wealth. And it's a revolving cycle where people are living every single day with no wealth, no growth, nothing is being left behind. And you got to understand, the government loves this. Because the more people they can keep having on this government program, you got to understand, the more they're going to keep making billionaires on their side, the more wealth is going in their pocket. First and foremost, let's first talk about what is government programs, okay? Government programs, some of us know it as Section 8, which is like more of housing. Some of us know it as food stamps, Medicaid, Social Security, Medicare. These are all government programs. Some of you have health insurance if you're in Florida, what we call Florida Kids Care. There are so many different types of government programs. See, this is the things that they don't really talk about when you're on these government programs. As you guys know, when people like myself and others just like yourself pay tax dollars, your tax dollars goes towards helping less fortunate people who are probably unemployed, who probably get what we call unemployment, which is another government program. And the goal is to help these people get back on their feet. Now, we got to be honest. A lot of people are not just, of course, getting back on their feet. They've been using the system for the longest. Now, here's the problem that I'm starting to see, and it's been since a young kid. I've seen that a lot of people don't elevate. And I want to be honest. When I was younger in the urban developments, I was on government program. My mother was on it. But I knew there was more to life. I knew that this could not be it. Being on government programs do hinder you and doesn't really put you in a position of wealth. And we're going to talk about that because a lot of you are so excited that, oh, you don't have to pay really anything for rent. Cool, that's why it's a problem. You've been renting. You're on housing. You are on food stamps. When are you going to get out of this cycle? Because here's what's going on. There's qualifications that you must have when you're on some of these programs, and some of them is you must be a single parent. Let's start there and let's really explain what's the psychological problem with this, okay? Really think about this, okay? In order to get these government programs that some of you love so much, you have to be a single parent by theory that's been financially struggling, that is not making any money by theory on paper, or any money, period. And of course, you can't have any corporations, any businesses under your name when it comes to government programs. Here's the problem. Some of you, as you're enjoying the fact that you're a single parent taking care of kids, enjoying the benefits by theory of government programs, which should be temporary, you don't realize that now you have these young kids who have grown into grown kids to grown adults who are now believing in the system of government programs. Now, here's the problem. These same kids are growing up with no fathers, no mothers. You got to understand, this government is psychologically brainwashing you to make you believe as long as you're on government program, you will never own anything in life. We will take care of you. You got to understand, people, they want you there. And they hope that you stay there forever and have a broke mentality and understand that wealth is not for you. And a lot of those people are the same people, there is exceptions, but they're the same people who don't own any homes, who have been living all their life, have nothing to show except maybe a car, who are also in a position where you're capping out number two, your income. Explain this to me, okay? You're on government programs, you've been on it for 2, 3, 4 years, 5 years. You're gonna be single by theory for life. Raise kids so they have no mother or whatever, vice versa, father. Then on top of that, to be on government programs, you also can't make you can't make money. So now a lot of you get so lazy, you decide, well, let me be on government programs because why? I'm only paying $200 to live in this home that I will never own. Now they do have, I get it, they do have some rent to own situations, but they say the percentage of people that do rent to own is less than 4%. So that means 96% of you are on these housing programs without the potential or without even thinking about the ability to own a home. So let me get this right. You've been on a government program since 22 years of age. You have kids. You told them, okay, you're a single parent. You're raising these kids as a single parent. These kids get older, become grown adults. They've never seen their father, vice versa. They've never seen their mother. Now they're living in this world mentally believing that as long as we're in housing or Section 8 or living in ghetto urban environments, we're going to be the best we can be in life. Not realizing there's no home ownership, there's no asset building, there's no wealth being created. On top of that, parents think it makes sense to cap out their income. Let me get this right. You're going to be on government programs for 20 years of your life. Never make more than maybe $15,000 a year. You're going to stay self-employed for the rest of your life and financially struggle, meaning you will always live below your means for the rest of your life. Begging the government for what they want you to have. You're never going to build wealth. You're never going to have any true assets in this world. Now, I'm going to be honest. Oh, wow. Juju was popping. Juju is on Facebook. Shout out to YouTube. Shout out to IG. Sorry about my connection on IG. I'm not sure what's going on with my connection on IG. Keep dropping. I'm where I got to fix that. Juju said, made a great point. She says, sorry, Bobby, but I know married couples who receive assistance is not just single parents. People, let me tell you something. Even if you're a married individual, here's my problem with it, right? You can't make a certain amount of money. So you're capped out on the amount of money you could potentially make in life. So let me get this right. You would rather not have to pay rent for the rest of your life, never own anything, never leave any wealth behind, never leave any assets under management, just because you have what? Food stamps? You don't have to pay for groceries. Just because you've been rich for your whole life? You don't never want to own a home just because you're on government programs. What, are you going to stay on unemployment for 2 years? You see, this system has caused a lot of lazy people. And these lazy people, till today, are the same ones, no matter what president is in place, are complaining about society. It's hard. They're always saying, and it's funny, some of the most government assistance type of individuals are still complaining life is hard. How is that possible? Your groceries are paid. Your rent is paid. Tell me, how is life hard? It's because no matter how much the government assists you, they're not really helping you to the next degree. Because here's the truth. A lot of you don't understand government programs is to put you on your feet. You should be on it for 10 years. And what's crazy is a lot of you still don't own anything. And you think it's cool leaving your family when you pass away nothing behind but a car. And this is why there's no wealth in certain cultures in this world. Because they always think capping out their income. So let me get this right. You're going to let the government put a cap on your income at what, $15,000? You're going to let the government tell you, look, you can only have $3,000 in your bank account, $2,000 in your bank account? Because there is bank account requirements. Some people can't have more than $2,000 if they're on government programs in their bank account. I see there's a real problem in this world today. The wealthier continuously gets wealthy. And the poor-minded individuals, they stay poor. And the truth is, when you really take a step back, for a lot of people that's on government programs, what do you own? What are you leaving behind for your family? What are you going to teach your kids? Just go on government programs? And live a mediocre, low-income lifestyle like you did? People, we got to be real with ourselves. The government know what they're doing. And I want you guys to understand, how does it get funded? Our tax dollars is what fund government programs. People who pay taxes. So if you pay taxes, you're funding housing. You're funding Social Security. You're funding unemployment. You're funding Medicare and Medicaid. You're funding all of these government programs. And you got to understand, the people that's in these government programs are not trying to grow. They're not trying, some of them are not trying to get out. They're very comfortable having nothing and wanting nothing, raising a family with no father or a family with no mother, leaving their family nothing behind. This is what the government is brainwashing you guys to believe. And a lot of you believe it makes sense. Some people right now have met people that felt the best thing in life is to be on government programs. And they teach their kids to be on government programs. And you know what's funny? They get to grown adult ages, they're still struggling. So let me get this right. The government handed you everything in life, and you're still struggling? How is that possible? Well, answer this question. What wealth are you leaving behind? You've been on housing for 20 years. You've been on Section 8. You know how many people I know that's on housing, that's on government programs, on Section 8, and they still struggling? It's not really solving the problem. It's a temporary fix. You know, I love this next comment. Shouts out to us. She says, some people's attitude is, no one can play with me. But you allow the government to play with you for a few dollars. Really think about that. For a few dollars a month. Some of you don't even have a retirement account. All you care about is Social Security. How much is Social Security giving you when you retire? For some of you that never work, $600 a month. For some of you that have been in these government programs all your life, when it's time to retire at 59 and a half, they're giving you $500. They're giving you $700 a month to retire. Wow, that's a good idea, right? When rent is $2,500. So you're going to die in poverty. What are you going to do at that age? You think you're going to have the same self-drive you have now? Your self-drive, you think it's going to be the same at 59 and a half? People, what are we doing? See, what we got to start learning is, and I'm always go back to this, what is your value in life? What are you worth? A Section 8 voucher? Unemployment? Some people get so excited when they get a $600 check a week from unemployment. Do you understand you could be making $10,000 a week, $10,000 a month, $50,000 a month? Look at all the multi-millionaires, all the multi-billionaires in this world today. And we still got those individuals with the closed mindset. As long as I get government programs, I'm okay. And the main ones that's probably in the club, popping bottles, driving cars, foreign cars that they really can't afford, they're on government programs. But when you ask them a real question, where's your life insurance? When you ask them a real question, what do you own other than a car? When you ask them a real question, how come you needed a GoFundMe to bury your kids? Well, government programs going to help you, huh? Government program is not going to teach you how to create wealth. It's a psychological poverty state of mind. I respect it for those who sometimes need to get on their feet. I get it. You're going through hard times. My mother was going through hard times in life. She had to get on her feet. We had to do what we had to do. When we was younger, we had to get on government programs. But I made it my goal to make sure my mother never need any of those programs again. A lot of you don't understand that building wealth is a psychological mindset. It's all mental. When you're on these government programs and you're letting them control what you're worth, you're not winning, they're winning. And some of you don't understand. The reason you're constantly complaining that life is so hard financially is because you're still on government programs. If government programs was the best thing ever, why are you still struggling? Why are you still struggling? There are so many single parents, married parents, struggling with government programs because you let the government dictate what you're worth. And that's a problem. So your family is only gonna have a combined income of what, $30,000 a year. And then guess what? Here you go. As long as you stay broke for the rest of your life, we're gonna give you a fat tax return. If you're single with 3 kids, we're gonna give you a $10,000 check. If you're married with 3 kids, here's $12,000. So all year you can't make a certain amount of money because you're on government programs. But tax season, you get a nice big fat check. Round of applause. Round of applause. And some of you believe you won. You really believe you won. Because why? You got a fat tax return. Let me tell you for some of you that don't understand real life, right? You know when you're making money? When you have a tax problem, when you owe taxes. I haven't seen a tax return since I was maybe 20 years old, 21, and I'm 36, or 19 maybe. I can't even remember that far back. When you owe taxes, that means you're making money. I'll take my life over government help any day. I'm gonna tell you why. The government is here to control you. Here to make sure you're belittled mentally. You never build wealth. You live below your means for the rest of your life. Some of you don't even enjoy the festivities of traveling. Some of you don't enjoy the festivities of the finer things of life. Some of you don't know what it is to make 100, 200, 300,000 a year. Some of you don't even know what it is to make 80,000, 50,000, because all you do is enjoy government programs. And then you teach your kids to not break that cycle. And now they're on government programs. And now all of you think it makes sense. And then when that parent passes away, what did that parent leave behind? A car. And 90% of the time, the car is financed. People, the truth is the truth. Is it true that a lot of people that's on government programs don't have nothing to show for all the years of being on government programs? And you truly believe that all the people that have been using and abusing the government system, you've been losing this whole time. The government been winning. Because they've been keeping you right where they want you to be. While they're at the White House, while they're in Silicon Valley, making millions and billions, while they're retiring on their yachts, while they're retiring in different countries, living their life with millions and billions, you're retiring with $700 every month as a Social Security check. At the end of the day, who won? Did the government win or did you win? But guess what? You've been on government programs all year, right? All your life, you've been on Section 8, barely paying any rent, barely making any money all year, struggling all year, getting free groceries all year, getting big tax return checks all year. Then it finally hits you. Hold on. You're 35, you're 40. I wonder, hold on. Is it me or these government programs not what you thought it was? Some of you don't realize right now, government programs haven't taught you anything, haven't bought you any wealth. A lot of you don't have nothing to show. Tell me. For some of you that's on government programs, what you got to show? A car? Huh? Some chains? Huh? You popping bottles in the club? What you got to show? People, we're talking about the problem with government programs and you being on it for the rest of your life. A lot of you don't realize when you retire, there is no retirement. Guess what? The government's giving you a $700 Social Security check, a $400 Social Security check. And we got to understand psychologically how this thing plays out. You get a $700 Social Security check. You start realizing life is still rough at 59 and a half. Then you start hoping and praying that a president can save your life. I hope I vote for the right president to save me. I thought government help been saving you all your life. I thought Section 8 and housing was your best friend. I thought it was something that really should empower you and build you. What I find so funny, where's your wealth? A lot of people that's on government programs, they still struggling. They're not managing their money better. They're not saving any money. They're just using the system. And the more you keep using the system, the more they keep winning. You know, Juju just said this. I believe Section 8 offers a home buyer program. And guess what? A lot of people aren't even using it. They actually have a rent-to-own program also. The government have ways to benefit you to own a home. They'll even help you with a down deposit. They have grants. They have a lot of assistance that could benefit you for home ownership. But a lot of you don't even use it. And they got rules and contingencies where you have to stay in the home for 10 years, stay in the home for 15 years. But I'm meeting a lot of people, they're not going for that. They're just enjoying the fact that they're renting somebody's property and they're only paying $150 or $100 out of their pocket every month. While the person who owns that home, they're the ones that's winning. Because why? Every month the government pays them first of the month. And that's rental income to them. And for you, that's another person that doesn't own shit in life. That's just how this game goes. And then when it's time to retire, guess what? You that been on government programs for all these years, you get to retire with nothing. And here's what's funny too, before I really start giving you guys some solutions. Government programs is kind of funny, right? Do you know that on when you're on a WIC, which is kind of like the food stamps and all that good stuff, right? Do you know you get to shop anywhere with that money? This is what's so crazy, right? You get to go to any store and shop with food stamps. If I had food stamps, I would be in Whole Foods because I want the best I can get for the government dollar that they're giving me. I want the most purified products I can get for free dollars that the government is giving me for people like myself that's going to work to make sure you enjoy the lifestyle you're enjoying. But some of you are still shopping at Save-A-Lot. You're still shopping at Walmart. And you got food stamps? You know you can shop at Whole Foods with food stamps, right? This is why I said education is still messed up. People don't even know their options when it comes to better eating. You think I'm going to have food stamps? I'm shopping at Walmart, Save-A-Lot. I'm shopping at these type of stores. I want nothing but the best. But again, it goes back to education. They throw positive information on their websites because they know, let's be honest, the people that they're catering to give them government assistance not going to read the website. 96% of people that's on government programs don't buy homes. 96% don't even look up government assistance, home buying, first-time home buying type of programs. Because it's not in their interest. It's not even, they don't even care about the fact that I got to own a home and maintenance it. I got to fix a plumbing issue. I got to fix my roof. Man, that's dumb. People, for some of y'all that's on government programs, I want to make sure y'all understand how real the last 3-4 years of real estate have been. For some of you that never owned a home, okay, I want to really give you some knowledge right now. Homes that was 300 is now almost 700,000. Homes that was, even condos that was 100, they're now 250, 300. Homes that was 500 is maybe $800,000. And if you're smart, do you know you could have sold the property? Option one, you could have sold the property, made $300,000-$400,000, which is way more than Section 8 could have ever given you. But some of you wouldn't understand this because you don't care about the value of government programs, which is this. Okay, thank you, government, for helping me. It's time for me now to get back on my feet. Instead, let me just use the government and sit on the government dollars for life. Sit on unemployment for as long as I can. Never build any wealth. Don't leave any wealth behind for your kids. Die with just a car, some jewelry, some brand names. Because one thing the government don't want you to do, they don't want you to be educated. The government is hoping that you don't educate your mind. Because the more you don't educate your mind, the more they can keep making their billions and millions of dollars and retire on their yachts and living their great fancy lives. While they're living in Silicon Valley and while they're investing and building multi-billion-dollar market cap companies, while they're at the White House making strategic deals on how their businesses are going to become multi-millionaire, multi-billion-dollar businesses, you over here fighting for a tax return check. You over here super excited for a tax return check of $10,000. It's because, again, if you knew better, you would do better. And this is why I'm giving this exposure. Usman just said something. Usman says, yeah, they'll rather sit with free money. Some people built their own business with their stimulus check. That's smart. That's a person that's doing something. Some people took their stimulus check, invested in bought stocks. Because some people's stimulus checks, because they had kids, was $4,800, $7,200. Some people invested into the stock market. Some people bought crypto with it, CRO, Polygon. Because long term, they're like, hold on, I want to get off this program. I want to create wealth. I want to leave something behind for my children. Some people took their stimulus check and say, let me buy a house. And some of them just blew the money at Dior, Gucci, Louis stores. That's what some people did. Because again, when you don't know better, you can't do better. People, put your comments below. Juju was popping. Juju said, you speaking the truth, Bobby. I purchased my home for $150,000 in 2017, and now it's almost worth $300,000. She doubled the value of her home. And she has the ability to either sell the home if she wanted, She has the ability to do what we call a heat lock, home equity line of credit, and pull 80% of what the home is worth and put it on a line of credit and invest into another property, maybe a duplex, or maybe start a business. She also has the option of doing what we call a cash out refi, refinancing the home, pulling out the difference of what she owes compared to what the house is worth of the 80%. People in life, the reason I do these lives is because I want you guys to understand the truth. A lot of you ask, well, how did you become a millionaire? Well, I got to $1 million status by changing my mindset and changing my approach to life. I could go work for people and get $12 an hour. I could go lie to the government and go play games, but I'm not interested in the government's dollars. Because at the end of the day, I want more. I want to live a great lifestyle, and so should you. Now, my thing is, I always want to give you guys some solutions. For a lot of you that's on these government programs, and let's be honest, some of you haven't been teaching you anything. Because the honest truth is, some of you have been on these government programs your whole life, and all you can say you have is a car. All you can say you've been doing is partying, you've been at strip clubs, and you've been enjoying life. But when you ask, what's your wealth? What's your AUM, assets under management? Some of you don't know that term. I'm going to say it again. When you ask people that's on government programs, what's your AUM? They don't even know what the hell that means. Assets under management. While some of the wealthiest people got billion-dollar portfolios. Some of us small people got million-dollar portfolios. What's your portfolio? Toyota Camry, Lexus. What's your portfolio? 20,000? What's in your asset portfolio? Because if you don't own a home, you don't have an asset. If you don't own a business, and if you're on government programs, you can't have a business. So you decided to be on government programs, never going to own a business, so you're not an entrepreneur. You can't be an entrepreneur because they do research that, and they do arrest people for fraudulently getting government programs, knowing that you're on government, you're on housing, all that good stuff. They want to see you poor. They want to see you living below minimum poverty. They want to see you have nothing. But they want to make sure tax season they give you a fat check. Because they know if we give this person a $10,000 check, a $12,000 check, they're going to sit right here on government programs for the rest of their life. And while we're making billions and millions of dollars, we're going to make sure when this person retires, that's on our government programs, we're going to give them a nice $500 a month till they die. Because they just don't know any better. Welcome to the government assistance program. I'm going to say this before I really start giving you guys solutions. Government programs was made really to give you guys a level of comfort to get on your feet. Once you get on your feet, the goal is to inspire yourself and motivate yourself to say, okay, well, what's next? Okay, government program was not intended to have you not work and be lazy. Government program was not intended to have you never own a business. Government program was never intended to have you become a poor-minded person. This has been caused based on your decisions, your discretion, and your bad habits. Now, the question is, how do we fix it? How do we as a culture fix the problem with being on government programs? So many people on government programs, single, raising kids by themselves. And guess what? The government loved that. Oh, here's another single parent again with 4 kids. Here's another single parent again with 3 kids. Here's another single parent again with 7 kids. Congratulations, you won the state trophy of government programs. And we know they don't know any better. We're never going to teach them how to buy a house. We're never going to teach them how to buy 2 houses. We're never going to teach them how to buy a building. We're never going to teach them about true wealth. We're never going to talk to them and teach them about the true value of wealth. We're never going to talk to them how to tell them how to manage their money. We're never going to teach them the importance of saving to one day own something other than a car and some jewelry and some brand name clothes. We're just going to keep them on government programs. Number 1, let's first start talking about solutions. A lot of you that's on government programs, the goal is to eventually get off and find a high-paying job or add a skill to your life. For a lot of you that understand when I say this, I want to clarify this again. A high-paying job. High-paying job meaning you are not getting paid $10 an hour. High-paying meaning you do not get paid $15 an hour. High paying meaning you get paid something that's worth your time, maybe $35 an hour. Maybe you don't have a job, you have a career. It's okay to be on government programs and go get a career. Go to school to get a career, or go get a skill or a license to make money. You are not only worth a $15,000 cap income per year. The government would tell you when you're on government programs, you can't work. You shouldn't work. But I'm telling you today, it's time you change your mindset. It's time you know what you're worth. It's time you change your perspective on life. A lot of you don't understand your approach to life is hindering you from seeing so much more that the man above has waiting for you. This is why a lot of you right now are struggling. Number two, it's time you stop renting. It's time you start owning. There is first-time home buyer programs. There is also programs where that will benefit you to buying a home. Then guess what? After you buy your first home, you can now buy a second home, and now you can rent that home out for yourself. Now you're creating what we call wealth. You're creating passive income. Number three, it's time you start managing your money. If you're not managing your money when you're on government programs, you're going to be on government programs for a very long time. And the truth is, the government don't care. The government loves the fact that you're on government programs and you think you're using up their dollars all day, but at the end of the day, they're winning. Because when it's time for you to retire, you're getting a $700 check a month. When it's time for you to retire and you can't walk or your energy is different, guess what? At the end of the day, they don't care. Do you hear the horror stories of how the government feels about veterans? They don't even take care of their veterans. These are the people that have been fighting wars, putting on bulletproof vests, shooting shotguns, AK-47, going to other countries, dying for the flag. You think if they don't care about them, why would they care about you? The government don't care about veterans. You think they care about you? People, I'm trying to wake y'all up, man. I'm trying to wake y'all up. I'm not here to, this is why my podcast is called The Painful Truth. I'm not here to tell you things that's not true, people. The government don't take care of their veterans. You think they're going to take care of you? That's on Section 8. You think when you get older, they're going to take care of you? That's on housing programs, WIC, food stamps? You think that there's going to be a $5,000 a month disbursement when you retire? No, they got $500 with your name on it. They might tell you you're not approved. That's why I say, number one, it's important to understand you need to go get a high-paying job or go get a skill. Eventually, get yourself up from being lazy mentally and physically and go get a high-paying job. You listen to the term, high-paying job or career. Or go get a skill. Number two, you need to stop renting. It's time you start owning something. And eventually, once you own a home, it's time you own a second one. It's time you own a third one. It's time you have people paying you rent. That's called passive income. Number three, it's time you start saving money. And a lot of you don't realize you can't save money being broke inside the government system. This system was made. Shouts out to Jack St. Jean in the building, people. Realtor, MLO, he's in the building, people. A lot of you don't understand the government assistance that a lot of you enjoy. They hope that you never get off. They hope you stay there and stay mentally poor, getting $10 an hour. They hope that you love how they're giving you such daycare, so many daycare support, after school support for your kids. They hope that you never go to work again. They hope that you stay mentally poor for the rest of it. The government loves the fact that you're poor. They love it. They love the fact that you're not chasing $10,000 a week. You're not trying to start a business to make millions. They love that. The government loves the fact you stay poor. They love the fact you ain't building no wealth. They love the fact that they keep giving you a nice $12,000 tax return or $10,000 tax return check, and it's keeping you happy, and it's keeping you in their government programs. Because at the end of the day, they're going to win. And they're going to keep making their billions, keep making their millions, while you stay mentally poor, physically poor. Number four, to fixing some of these solutions, it's time you change your friends and it's time you change your friends. A lot of you hang with broke-minded people. And when you're around broke-minded people that's on government programs all day, they're going to give you broke-ass ideas. And these broke ideas sometimes, let me rephrase that, majority of the time don't land you anywhere. Because you got to really think about this, okay? You're on government programs. You're getting advice from another person who's on government programs. And there's a high chance they don't own shit, you don't own shit. What kind of advice could you possibly give me? Really think about that for a moment. What kind of financial advice could that a person that don't own shit give a person that don't own shit? Really think about that for a moment. And then we complain and say, oh, this government always taking advantage of us. No, they're not. They ain't taking advantage of you. It's a choice. It's an option that you choose when you take government programs and not get off of it. Everybody goes through hard times in life. Some of us, we need it, and I get it. But the question is, what is your exit plan? How are you going to get off of it? How are you going to get off of it and put yourself in a better situation? And the last thing I want to say when it comes to solutions, because solution number one was go get a higher paying job if you're trying to get off government programs. Number two, it's time you stop renting, start owning. There's a lot of first-time home buyer programs. Contact your local realtor, and they could be able to assist you with the down deposit. And there's a lot of other programs that assist in this world today. The one is called DECA, which is in Florida, which will also assist you with closing costs. So they're helping you buy a home as long as you stay in the home for a certain amount of years, 7, 10, 15, whatever K years. Number three, I told you guys it's important to understand how to manage your money. As you start making money, learn that the first thing you should be doing is pay yourself first. You should be saving money every time, at least 30% of every paycheck you get when you work for any company. Because you got to understand, you got to have a goal in life. My goal or my purpose is I need to get out of this Section 8 program. I don't want my kids to be in this government program like I have for the rest of their lives. I want my kids to not understand what government programs is. I want them to know I was in it, I got out, and I'm a multi-millionaire. I've learned from that situation. But some of you, you get on government programs. There's people right now begging to be on government programs. They're hoping and praying that they get on government programs. Number four, the reason I said change your friends, because a lot of friends, sad to say, they're not real with each other. And a broke person that doesn't own anything in life can't really teach you how to own something in life. Because the truth is, if there's a 99% chance you don't own anything, there's a high chance you can't teach me to own anything. And when we say own anything, we're talking assets, passive income, businesses, homes, which is plural, or a home, which is singular. And the last one I want to say, the biggest thing is we got to break the cycle and change our mindset. For a lot of you that's on government programs, you got to change your mindset. You got to change your mindset. You got to start to look at life differently. You got to start to approach life differently. You got to start to wake up and say, you know what, hold on. I want more than this. I deserve more than this. If you have kids, your kids deserve more than this. But for some of you, being on government housing, government programs for the rest of your life, some of you feel it's the best thing ever. The question is, when does it stop? When does somebody in your family break the curse and say, hold on, nah, I'm gonna become a millionaire. I'm gonna start making $250,000 a year. I'm gonna start making $150,000 a year. I'm not gonna be on these government programs for the rest of my life. I don't know about you, but I'm done with this. I don't care about a tax return check anymore. That's only $10,000, that's only $5,000. That won't solve all my problems throughout the year. No, it doesn't. For a lot of you grown adults that's on my live right now, we both know a $5,000 or $10,000 check does not solve all your problems for 12 months. If you are a grown adult, you got real bills, you need a real job, a real career, a high-paying job, or a high-paying career to live a great life in this country. And I get it sometimes. People that's on government programs, you're scared. You're scared of real life. You're scared of mistakes. You're scared of working hard. You're scared of what it takes to become a multi-millionaire. You're scared of what it takes to become a half of a millionaire. You're scared of what it takes to become competitive, to win in life. But they always say, the The more risk, the more reward. And a lot of you right now that's on government programs, you've been living risk adverse. That's why you haven't been rewarded. It's time you break out of that cycle, get the chains off you, and say to yourself, it's time for me to start being great. Tonight, for a lot of you just tuning in on Facebook, YouTube, I got IG. Sorry about my connection on IG. I got to figure out what's going on with that. Tonight's topic is about understanding reasons why the government is keeping families single and mentally broke. We spoke about the reasons why people are single and why people are mentally broke and not having any wealth for all the years that they've been on government programs. How come the only thing that they have to show is a car, jewelry, brand names, if that, bad credit, and that's another thing too. A lot of people on government programs have no credit, have bad credit, no savings. You guys, you're happy. This is what the government wanted to do to you. This is what the government wants. He wants all your neighbors, all your friends in this government program community to not have you win. And guess what? It's happening. A lot of you right now don't own nothing. A lot of you right now still at grown adult ages can't understand the importance of good credit. You're still chasing cash. That's the problem, the lack of education. And that's what I'm here to teach you guys. Cash will never be more valuable than credit. If you got $50,000 cash in a shoebox in a bank account, at the end of the day, you can only buy $50,000 worth of anything. But if you got $30,000 with good credit, you could probably buy $700,000 worth of things in this country. That's why credit is always more valuable than cash. I hope you guys enjoyed this. More about it from Mentourme.com. This Thursday, Mike the Advisor will be in the building alongside with me, Mentourme.com. Make sure you guys follow me on Spotify. Support the movement. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Mentor Me. Means a lot to me. I like what somebody says, learning and earning. Just said, I think getting a high-paying job is easier than done. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to actually answer this learning and earning individual, right? And I'm going to answer the next question too. If you got any questions, post your questions below. The first person said, I think getting a high-paying job is easier than done. I'm going to get you to do a live and talk about how do you get a high-paying job. I want to first say this for a lot of you that I know a lot of you love Instagram. I get it. You love Snapchat. You love Twitter. Let me take that back. You love TikTok. But a lot of you don't realize that the growth and the true wealth comes from LinkedIn. That's the app you should have. That's the platform you should be branding yourself as a professional on. High-paying jobs are coming from LinkedIn, not Instagram. Instagram is just keeping you entertained to make marketing dollars. TikTok is keeping you entertained to make the owner more billions by, of course, marketing dollars. For a lot of you, when you want to see higher paying jobs or careers, you need to have a good LinkedIn page. That's where you should be subscribing to. Then another day I'll have to explain what's needed. And I think I'm going to do that to kind of teach you guys, how do you get a six-figure job? How do you get a six-figure career? What does your LinkedIn page should look like? I don't promote on LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn for sure because I'm not interested in working for nobody. But I definitely am on LinkedIn. But it's one of those platforms, it carries a lot of value. And the connections you could build through LinkedIn is crazy. So for the individual who posted that, learning and earning, make sure you're getting a LinkedIn. When I do a live on this particular topic, I'll definitely share some knowledge with everyone on how do you get a six-figure job. Because I have a lot of students making six figures a year. And I'm going to tell you how did I position them and what did I tell them to do. And there's an art to this when it comes to getting a high-paying job. Question two. Juju said, what's your thought on Dave Ramsey baby steps? I'm gonna say this. I'm not really a Dave Ramsey fan, but I'm gonna say I like the fact that he's another individual giving exposure to financial literacy. And because of that, I respect him. I just feel Dave Ramsey is a little too beginner for grown adults. But I must understand, I must admit, and certain things he believes in, I'm against. And I know he has a bigger platform than me, which is true. I know he has a lot of knowledge, which is fact, and I love it. But we look at things two different ways on certain aspects. But I do like the fact he is giving exposure to financial literacy, teaching people how to get out of debt, introducing people to understanding how to manage money, credit cards, different things like that. Because again, he also doesn't believe in credit cards. There's a lot of things I'm against, but I like the fact of him giving exposure to financial literacy. Because of that fact, I salute to Dave Ramsey. But he is not my top 5 or 10. I'll tell you that. That is not my top 5 financial guy to go to. There's a lot of other people I go to before I'll ever like go into a Dave Ramsey video or educational book or course. I'm not really interested in Dave Ramsey for a lot of reasons. But it's a great starting point for some of you who don't know where to start. You can definitely see if Dave Ramsey suits you. Great question, Juju. I think a lot, Shells Charles says, I think a lot of people want more, but don't know where to start or don't have the funds needed to start. As you get lack of education and lack of resources. You know, Shells was popping. I'm gonna say yes and no, right? She says lack of education and lack of resources. I'm gonna say yes and no to that. Well, she's right, right? YouTube exists in this world now. It's kind of hard to say there's lack of education and lack of resources now when YouTube exists. A lot of you don't realize that Google and YouTube has a lot of free information. The question is, are you willing to take 20 minutes out your day and go learn something new and apply it in your everyday lifestyle? A long time ago, we could make the excuse of exposure. Oh, I don't know about how to manage my money. I don't know how to invest. I don't know what stocks is. I don't know what crypto is. I don't know how to start a business. I don't know what a business is. I don't know what to sell. You could make those excuses years ago, but not now. Things have changed. YouTube exists. Google exists. Audibles exist. Are you willing to invest your time? But Cheryl does make a good point. She's right. A lot of us do lack education and exposure, and we do lack resources. That's why I spoke about a video a couple months ago teaching you guys how do you get capital? How do you get financing? And I think I'm gonna bring that video back because it's a real problem. You want to start a business, how do you get the money? How do you get the money? And if you ever have a topic you want me to talk about, feel free to DM me or message me at mentourme@gmail.com. I'll be glad to of course talk about certain topics y'all want me to talk about. K West said a no credit card deal in $1,000 is no for me. Oh yeah. Dave Ramsey is kind of funny. Like I said, in certain aspects, and I'm gonna say a majority, a lot of aspects I'm not a fan, but he's for some people. He's just not for everybody. Shells, I'm great. It's all love. That's a good question. Shell says, can everybody comprehend learning something from Google or YouTube? Some people are face-to-face learners, right? So she's right. Some people won't understand certain things on YouTube. But I must say this. Some of you, when there's local events going on, that people you may know are holding events, you don't even show up. So it shows me, it tells me, you don't have the aspiration to say, I really want to, you're not even motivated to really do something, to really grow in life. So if YouTube is not your friend or Google is not your friend, when somebody's doing a local show, especially a person who is a practitioner, I'm not a wealth coach. I'm a wealth practitioner. The difference between the two is I practice everything I talk about on these videos. Anything I've talked about, I've done. I don't talk about stocks and not do it. I don't talk about real estate and haven't done it. I don't talk about crypto and haven't done it. I don't talk about losing money and haven't lost it. There's a difference between a wealth coach, because I want you to understand, and I love how somebody said this. In football, not every coach plays football. I'm not a coach. I'm a practitioner. Everything I talk about, I practice. That's why I call myself more of a wealth practitioner. I don't come on these videos giving y'all stories of things I haven't done. Everything I talk about, I've done or I'm doing. There's a difference, and this is how you grow and learn. Learning from people who is really doing this, not just talking about it. In the stock market, when I lost 40,000, I posted the 40,000 that I lost. Everything I talk about, I do it. People, look, I want y'all to win, man. I'm so passionate about this shit. Like, I want y'all to win. Dave Ramsey, look, hey, shouts out to him. Shouts out to many other mentors out here, because we're starting to get a bigger platform and really start to have listening ears listen to us, which wasn't always easy. It was not always easy to have people listen to mentors, because a lot of us in the culture, especially, we don't believe in mentors. We think we know it all. We don't want to listen to nobody. We think we got everything in order until we start struggling, until we start seeing we're not growing. People, I'm gonna tell y'all, this is a living testimony. I grew up having nothing. Growing up in the hoods, where fighting was an everyday athletic sport. And now I won't touch nobody. I'm not that type of person. Even though I used to box for 3 years, I'm in jiu-jitsu class now. I won't touch nobody. Because now I look at life differently. I want to help you. I want to help you mentally. But that's why now I'm always teaching you guys, how did I become a millionaire? How did I get to $1 million status? How did I go from making $50,000 a year to $400,000, $500,000 a year? I'm teaching you how I got here. A lot of things is all about the mindset. I changed my mind. People, I love what I do so much. I built this. What you guys seeing me talk in right now, I just built this. I'm posting it tomorrow. A $12,000 shed I built behind my house, just to make sure I could talk to y'all and still teach y'all. That's how much I love this. My money and my wealth don't come from Mentourme. That's not where I make my money. I just love teaching. I just don't like when teachers get paid. I love educating. I just don't like when educators get paid. I love hearing you guys make money. I love seeing people win financially. I'm not a jealous person. I like when somebody called me, like my young dude the other day, said he made $180,000 in commercial real estate in 1 month. This kid is 20 years old, just made $180,000 in real estate. He will be on my live next week. Shouts out to my boy Shazar in the building from Pakistan, baby. Let's go. 21 years old, made $180,000 in 1 month. His brother will be on my live next week. Shout out to my people in the Middle East, man. I'm telling you. Shouts out to the building if he's on here. Shouts out to Dubai. I know my brother from Dubai. He always on my live. Shouts out to him. I'm not gonna hold y'all up too long, man. I love y'all. Appreciate the love. This Thursday night, I'm talking about another topic. You should go by from Mentourme.com. If you have any questions, DM me. Thank you for all the messages that I get. Thank you to all the people too that called me today. And yes, man, I've been getting a lot of calls. I love y'all for saying so many great things. Bobby, I love all your videos. I love how you taught me the last couple of years. So many things. You changed my mindset. All I want y'all to do is win. Sometimes things may come off a little harsh, and just I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about how I feel. I want you guys to understand the truth and stop being lied to. This is Bobby from Mentourme.com. This Thursday night, me and Mike, the advisor, in the building. Shouts out to all the people that have been supporting. Make sure you subscribe on the YouTube page. Follow me on IG. Follow me on Facebook. I'm also on Clubhouse, even though I'm not really on it like that. But I'm following me on Clubhouse. Mentor me. I love y'all. I'm actually going to be getting back on Clubhouse. Make sure you're on my Spotify. Follow me on Spotify. You can also sponsor too. It's only like $5 a month. If you really support what I do, sponsor me on Spotify. I'm working on it. Please keep being great. Go by from Mentourme.com. I love y'all. Peace.